Hi everybody. So I've been seeing a lot of people commenting online and in groups about color choosing and how to apply shadows and undertones and uplights. And I wanted to go over just one quick basic color for your color choices. And it has to do with color theory. So color theory is probably the best thing you could ever learn. And to be honest, we all learned basic color theory in primary/grammar school. And we learned it with a color wheel. Your color wheel should be something you have with you or next to you that you can reference at all times. It is a super handy little device. You can get a small one. You can get a big one like this. I like the bigger one. I don't know why. I just do. But on the back, it has your secondary and tertiary colors and so on. But this is a great tool, and it'll help you better understand colors and what makes up those colors. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to use 3 colors, which are your primary colors, which is yellow, blue, and red. These are the only 3 colors I'm going to use for now. We'll go over some other colors later on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create green. And I know it seems daunting, but if you have limited art supplies, this is such an ideal thing to learn. And this also gives you an idea of what colors to blend with what and what goes with what. I know color choosing is difficult, but once you understand this, your color choices will get much easier. And ladies, I know some of the men are just as bad as women, but ladies, we use color theory every day when we get up and get dressed. We look at what we're going to wear and we choose, does this match or does this not match? Put that into your artwork. Make your decisions based on everyday experience. Don't limit yourself to, oh my gosh, I have 180 colors. How do I choose what color goes with what? With these 3 colors right here, you'll be able to figure that out a lot easier because your secondary colors are made from these 3 and your tertiary colors are made from these 3. So every color in the rainbow is made from these 3 pencils, aside from black and white. However, my cat's tail, black does contain some green pigment. I know a lot of you don't know that, but it does. A true black pencil is usually a charcoal pencil, but that's another story. Anyways, that just gives you an idea right there that you can use dark greens to darken up your blacks or light greens to lighten it up, create grays. Anyways, so what I've done here is I'm going to show you my color wheel really quick. So I'm going to go over here to green, and it says add yellow to green. And what does that do? It makes blue. So adding yellow to green makes blue. But we are going to make green. So we're going to use yellow and blue. But your color wheel, it's really easy to use. I'm going to set this aside for a minute. I got these lovely little swatch sheets from Claire, Coloring with Claire. You can go on her page. She has a Facebook page and a YouTube channel, and there are links to get these free charts. They are 100% free. You don't have to pay for them, but you can make donations if you like. I made a donation. So anyways, you can print these off. There's all kinds of different ones. There's fruits, there's vegetables, there's leaves and flowers. she's got some great charts and some color charts and color family charts. So I am going to use this one, which is a blown up version of her original chart. I blew it up just for the purpose of showing you guys what we're going to do here. So with that said, thank you, Claire, for these wonderful charts. They're lovely. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a green apple just so that you guys can see how this is going to go. And I know it sounds crazy, but work with me here. So I'm just going to apply a really light base color, which is yellow. I'm not even pressing hard. I'm just scumbling down a quick little base coat of yellow. That's all I'm doing. Don't worry about your highlights or your low lights at this point. Just get that light layer down. So there it is. There's a super light layer, and I used canary yellow, if that helps. Prismacolor canary yellow. Now I'm going to go over to Prismacolor 903, which is true blue, and I'm going to do a light mixing coat of true blue. I'm going to start at the bottom, and I'm just going to work my way up. And you can see I'm just doing small circles, nothing fancy. And I know the color doesn't seem to be there yet, but it will, I promise. You will start seeing a Granny Smith green apple. Anyways, I'm just going over the yellow in small circles and I'm blending it. What I'm doing is I'm mixing the yellow with the blue. And the reason I'm not pressing hard is because you don't need to. You don't want to burnish that paper, because once you do that, then blending and mixing is really difficult. The key is light hand, light touch. And that just takes practice. I know some people are heavy-handed, and I also know some people that are heavy-handed that can master these blending techniques phenomenally. Okay, so there you have a light coat of blue, and you can see it's already starting to turn green. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back with my yellow again, and I'm going to do another coat. This time, I'm going to pay attention because I'm pressing just a little bit harder. Not hard, I mean, I'm still light touch, small circles. But where I'm going to put some uplights here and some shadows possibly. So when you think of adding shading and light, you want to look at the item just like where the sun is in the sky. Where is the sun going to hit that item? Wherever that sun is not shining, you know there's going to be shadowing there because light can't get where it can't see. And the brightest spot should be right where the sun hits the most, which in this circumstance is right on the very, I guess, arch of that apple, I suppose. I don't know what you call that. But right here at the tip where I am now, and I'm just doing a little bit heavier here with the yellow. Go around the edge. Then I'm going to keep swirling, making my blue mix with my yellow. And you can see it is starting to turn green, which that's what we want. We've taken two primary colors and we've created a secondary color. So from this secondary color, you can add another primary color to create a tertiary color. Tertiary meaning a third level color. And this goes right back to basic color theory. Okay, so even though it's not quite the green I'm wanting yet, it's going to get there. But at this stage, since we're not 100% blended in and we haven't burnished this paper yet, you need to think about it. What colors did I use to create this? I used yellow and blue. So that says to me that yellow and blue go with this. So I want to create some shading. What colors can I use besides black and gray? I can use blue. Why? Because yellow and blue makes green. So blue goes with green. So I'm going to come in here right at the base. And I'm just going to add a little more blue. And you're going to see this green start to really darken up right where I'm putting this shading. I am not doing anything fancy. I'm just making small circles here. See that? See how it's contrast with a little bit darker? You could put a little shading up in here, just on this edge, not too much. And don't be worried that it still looks a little blue, because when we're done, it won't. So there you have it. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come back in here with my yellow again, and I'm just gonna go over that darker area where I added the blue, because I do want it to look green. I'm not trying to make a blue apple, I'm trying to make a green apple. So you just blend more yellow in to those areas by doing small circles. So now you've got some depth here, and you just keep alternating your colors until you get the green that you're after. Now remember, go light. Do not use a heavy hand here, because once you do that, you're going to burnish the paper and you're not going to get that color mixture you're after. And remember, when you're adding more like this blue, go back over your shaded area, because you don't want to lighten that shaded area up. You want to consistently keep it a tone deeper than the color you're trying to make the object. So you can see here, that's all I'm doing. I'm just making small circles round and round until I get where I want it to be. And once I have it at that final stage, or where I think that's going to be a good green, I'm going to go back in, I'm going to apply my yellow, and this time I'm going to apply a little bit more pressure. So you can see here, it is starting to turn that Granny Smith green. Look at that. And I'm going to go over that shaded area. You can see how it darkens up, makes a darker green. So when you're choosing your colors, it's not complicated. I know it takes practice and it takes some time to figure everything out. But just think of basics. When you create color, this is what you get. I mean, red and yellow makes orange. So what can I use for undertones and uplights? I can use red and yellow. I can use red, darker reds, lighter reds, depending on what I'm doing. I can use darker reds to create shading. I can also apply blacks and grays. So you can see in here, that is really looking Granny Smith green. How about that? So I use two colors to create this. Now let's say you really want to make a highlight, so to say. You can come in with a white pencil, just go up here on the edge, right over it. You don't have to use a gel pen, you can use a white pencil. You can see how it's just moving that color just a little bit. And I'm not adding a great big spot. I'm just blending it out. Just a little bit. That little tiny bit adds just enough highlight. And I get this a lot. What do you do with those fluorescent colors? I never use them. Neon yellow. You can come right in here, because it is in the yellow family. You can go right over this apple. If you really want to apply some brighter areas, you can make that apple pop. Same with the pink and the orange. Those can be used on reds and pinks, and there's just such a vast array that you can apply those colors to. So look at that. We have a wonderful Granny Smith apple. If you do want to do some darker shading, you can always grab your blacks or a deep blue. And you could always come in here with a deeper blue and just put a little bit more darkness if you want, even black or dark gray. But remember, every time you do that, you're going to darken that green up, because you're mixing yellow with blue, and that's going to create green. You can use a dark gray, which is on the 90% side. It's a cooler gray. You can go warmer. I tend to use my warm grays for animals and other things, trees, clouds. But when you want to create a definite shadow, you can use these cool grays. I'm not doing a very good job on my base shadow here, but you get the idea. Anyways, so you got a Granny Smith apple, and all it took is 2 colors to create it. That is the beginning basics of understanding color theory. The fun part with all this is you can create purple, black, red. You can do pears, eggplants, tomatoes, all with 3 colors. So don't limit yourself to, oh my gosh, I have to learn this. I don't understand this. You do understand it. You understand it in your everyday life. You understand it when you get dressed in the morning. You put your makeup on. You apply color to your face. You know what colors go with what. It's the same thing with colored pencils or paints or crayons, whatever medium you use. These are your base colors. And these 3 colors can do magic. Take your red, add some white. You're going to create pinks and peaches, face colors right here to create shading and depth in faces. Yes, there's other colors such as peaches that are out there. Your black and white pencils, these are great. They're easy, quick to grab and make highlights, uplights, lowlights, shading. They are great, but they are not the only pencils that do that. Start thinking outside the box with your grays, your dark grays and your light grays. And also those mystery colors that you have in your PRISMA color set, like your clay rose, some of those odd colors that you think, oh my gosh, they're so ugly, I'll never use. You will use them once you understand what colors go with what and what colors can create what effect. Those clay colors make great undertones for facial features, lighter cream colored palettes, or areas that you're trying to add just a subtleness with a tint of a grayish brown. There's so much detail that goes into some of these pictures. I, for one, can be a perfectionist, and I sometimes forget to go back to basics, and I'll get stressed out, and I'll say, I'm done. I'm not going to finish this project. But then I'll sit down, and I'll come back, and I'll remember. And you pull out the trusty old color wheel. So when you take a look at this color wheel, it tells you what goes with what. But there really is no hard, fast rule that this color has to go with this color. Red and blue, red and green. It's a matter of what color you're going to get when you blend those 2 colors together. You don't want to create brown every time you blend a couple colors. You want to create art. You want to make something look pretty. So understanding your 3 basic colors is going to give you a huge palette just like that. Who'd have thought you can create that just from 2 colors? Anyways, I hope I explained something as far as color mixing and color theory and understanding how to achieve color blending and taking your colors to the next level with color choosing. You don't have to make it complicated. Make it easy. Just remember, if you're going to make something with the color orange, ask yourself, what colors do I need to make the color orange? I need yellow and red. So I can use different shades of red and different shades of yellow for uplights and lowlights. And for shading, I can use like raspberry, which is a really deep color. I can use Tuscan. I can always use my, excuse me, grays and blacks. So try these out. Get yourself a color wheel. Better yet, make yourself a color wheel. It's a circle with a pie. There's a lot of tutorials online on how to do a color wheel. And blend your colors. Find one where you can blend out your primary colors to make secondary and tertiary colors. You will get it. You will understand it. And once you do, a whole new world's going to open up for you. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this little talk and this little tutorial. And I hope I shed some light on a couple things that I hope made it easier for everybody to understand basic color. Have a great day.